When he wakes up in the morning, the roses smell him. He once taught his dog sign language. And on the 4th of July, all the Macy's executives come over his house to watch his fireworks display. It's UPB from OptionMillionaires.com. What a glorious day today for option traders. June 29th, it's a Friday. Weekly options expire, and they're expiring with some enormous gains. I got into the BIDU. Let's start right into it, folks. Let's get into this BIDU. Of course, look at the ramp we've had. We're closing. Market's still open just about at the high of the day. Told everyone we're not going to fade today. We are not going to fade. That 136 mark, just pull that line across. We broke through it. This is bullish, folks. Although we had a great spike and a great gap up today, this, in my mind, establishes me as a bull. As a bull, even though I hate everything. I hate it. We're more screwed now than we were yesterday, and more screwed than the day before that, etc. But that doesn't matter with the stock market. We've seen that before. We could be unemployment rate over 10%. Stocks will just rally based on central bank manipulation, and that's what we had. That's what's running it now. We saw that in December. LTRO, LTRO1, LTR2, LTRO2. All right, I'm talking a little too quick. But the Europeans basically are papering over this, which is great. Great for stocks, great for call buyers, and that's all we care about. Care about making money. The world's going to collapse. Just put that off to the, the time it's going to happen. Worry about yourself. Making money. I'm saving up for my own private island. Those of you might want to join me later on. I'm going to have my own nursing staff, my own set of doctors. Probably be cheaper than Obamacare. So that's what I'm saving for, and doing a great job of it so far. Look at us. We broke through here. I was pointing out this in my chart the other night. Possible head and shoulders with a decline down through to 130.5 on the SPY. And look at the ramp up, the gap up we had. Now we're breaking through. This right here is resistance. That's what I was talking about too in the chat room. We just broke through it now. High of the day. Stocks were getting weak there for a second. Let me just pull it on the minute chart here and show you exactly what's happening. Look at this weakness. Look at this weakness. And Ben Bernanke got on his phone when he was on his helicopter out to the Hamptons. And he was calling up his intern. Hey, hit the buy button. That big green button, hit it. And it got hit. And look at that ramp we have now. Looks like we're going to close at the high today. There's a minute left. The bell's going to go off ding, 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 ding in about a second here. Spastic. And people were saying, oh, people don't want to hold into the weekend. Traders don't want to hold over the weekend. I'm thinking now it's just the opposite. They don't want to be caught not in next week. They don't want to be caught not holding stocks now because we've now papered over that mess. And of course it'll come back later on, just like the last time. As I pointed out before, this European fix. Oh, look at it. We're just continuing the ramp. Look at this. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Breathtaking. Spastic. There it is. Boo-hoo-hoo. Close at the high of the day. Just as I suspected. Yes, the last time in 2010 when the Europeans got together, you guys remember, it was just after the flash crash, they announced a bazooka. And I think this time it wasn't the bazooka, although the futures are still ramping higher. I'm looking at the futures here. And it wasn't a bazooka. I figured it more of a semi-automatic with a flamethrower attachment. I like to say that. And they're engaging the flamethrower on anyone that wants to short this market. So anyway, let's get into it. I mean, come on. Fabulous, fabulous day. The whole week. I'm going to have to go through all my trades, but I think I've had one losing trade all week. And let's start with BIDU. I got into BIDU. Look at this chart. Just fabulous chart. Got into BIDU, 110 calls yesterday at 37 cents. 37 cents right down here. Right down here. Ooh, all the way down here. It's like you're up on a cliff up here. You're looking down. You're like, who was that down there? That was me. That was me buying the $37 calls, $110 calls for 37 cents. And also in the chat room, alerting to other members in the chat room who also got in at this price, or even 40 cents. Some of them got in a little less, a little more. Needless to say, when it opened, it was about 150. That's where I got out. Some people in the chat room got out in the 250 range. Continued onward, closed at 115. Look at that. Weekly options expired today. So sure enough, it expired right at the strike price. How convenient is that? And those 110 calls are worth $5. $5, 37 cents, 10 minutes before the close yesterday to $5 at the close today. 37 cents, that's $370 to $5,000. Although I only bought 6, so it was less than $240 into $3 grand in less than a trading day. Had you bought it from bottom to top. Actually, those calls were 22 cents yesterday. So you could have bought these 110 calls for 22 cents, bought 10 of them for 220, got out at 5 grand, 220 into 5 grand in less than a full trading day. Whew, unbelievable. And that was alerted to you in the Option Millionaires chat room by yours truly, UPB. How about SINA? SINA, I was talking about the 5250 calls at 4 cents yesterday, right down here. I got out at 20 cents over here. And ultimately, they expired worthless because we didn't go into money. But there was a nice 5-bagger in there for you. Played it small, made a little bit of money. I moved into the 5250s for next week because I think SINA's going to see a nice little bounce there. So it was another great alert. And how about USO? I brought up USO 2950 calls. I was in those. And look, see this? It's just amazing, really. That's why I keep my support and resistance lines always there. Look how we stuck to it. It's like a magnet. It's like all the market makers, all the hedge funds institutions were looking at my little line here and going, all right, this is UPB's line here. Can't break it, can't go below it. And it's just like, it was like a magnet. And then finally, poof, and I had the 29.50 calls. I alerted you could look at for them. I got them at 50 cents. They went to $2.43 today. Nice little gain, huh? I was out at 80 cents for an almost, gosh, 65% profit, and I could have sat on them and made, gosh, even more, which is great. That's what stock options is all about. That's why we trade them. How about FCX? $33 calls from 8 cents to $1.12 today. Apple, 580 calls from 16 cents to $3.85. The rig, $44 calls from 7 cents to $1. The list goes on and on. Just a huge day for people who are buying the call options yesterday at the close or early this morning. You could have bought a lot of the options. USO, you could have got the USO. $31 calls at 4 cents this morning. They went to $1. 25 bagger like that. Whoop, whoop. That's it. That's why we trade stock options. I've been nimble, I've been small, and I've been playing it smart, and it's been very profitable. Stock options, I'm telling you, that's the place to be. That's the place to be trading. And think about it. With BIDU, you didn't have to put the 260 to work that I did. You could have put less than that. You could put half of that and still made $1,500. And that's why I play it small and nimble. And that's why you got to trade stocks that have the potential for big gains. That's why I'm in SINA right now. Because I think SINA has a 10% run coming. I do. And that's why I'm positioned for it. And if it doesn't come, I'll sell out for a loss. And I'll move on. And I'll use a little bit of money towards my next play. That's it. So what a fabulous trading day we had. And the SPY, as I was pointing out, just blasted above resistance. This is bullish in my opinion. I'm already positioned for it. I haven't loaded the boat. And I probably won't until we see a little more continuation. Who knows what's going to happen? It's a very light week this week. We have only 3.5 trading days because we have the 4th of July. So we're closed half a session on Tuesday, July 3rd. July 4th, we are completely closed. That you have to take into account some of the premium. So if options look cheap to you for next week, they're cheap for a reason. We only have 3.5 trading days. So keep that in mind. UPB here, just an absolutely amazing, amazing week. And like I said, I alerted those BIDU, 110 calls at 37 cents. You could have bought them, 10 of them for $370. And at the high, they closed at the high for $5, 5 grand. So that's $370 into 5 grand. That's real. You can ask the other people in the chat room. Some of them got in on it, as well as USO. And I actually bought some puts this week. I bought Moss puts. Moss puts, and I got out just at the right time. Just, you know, it's just a great time trading stock options. Love it. Going to give myself a round of applause. Listen, give yourselves a round of applause, too. Thanks for listening. This is UPB from OptionMillionaires.com. Stock options, the place to be. We have lots of classes there at OptionMillionaires.com. I teach beginner class as well as option trading class. I had a class last week, how to profit trading stock options. And I'd love to have you there. So join us. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I hope to hear from you soon. Goodbye.